Welcome to day 5 of our coverage of the 2022 Paralympic Winter Games from Beijing. There's the National Aquatic Center, known as the Ice Cube for the curling events at the Olympics and the Paralympics. And a very crucial game. Draw 13, it's Canada and it's Great Britain, alongside 3-time Paralympic gold medalist Sonia Gaudette. My name is Matt Cullen. The Canadian Sonia 4-3, Great Britain 3-3. The race for the 4th spot is certainly heating up right now, and the Canadians trying to snap out of a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, it's going to be a nail biter. There's so many teams up there high on the leaderboard, and this game is a critical game for Team Canada, and they're focusing on one rock at a time.
Welcome to this session of wheelchair curling.
女士们、先生们，这里是轮椅冰壶循环赛的比赛现场。
Let's give a round of applause to this session's competing teams.
让我们掌声欢迎本轮比赛对阵双方。
On Sheet A, Sweden
Sheet
versus
D is our
Slovakia.
featured matchup. There's the Canadian skip Mark Idison from London, Ontario. Throw Lee Stones calls the game. Dennis Thiessen
On
from
Sheet B,
Crystal City,
United
Manitoba,
States of
the
America
second.
versus
Ina
Switzerland.
Forrest, 4th Paralympic Winter Games, the 3rd, and throwing last rocks for Canada, the 38-year-old from Dunsford, Ontario, John
On Sheet
Thurston.
C, Norway
For Great
versus
Britain,
People's
the lead
Republic
is
of China.
Megan Dawson-Farrell making her Paralympic debut. David Melrose, also in his first Paralympic Winter Games.
On Sheet D,
Hugh Niblo is the
Canada
skip,
versus Great
silver
Britain.
medalist at the World Championships in 2019. And there is Gregor Ewan, the 50-year-old from Dundee, Scotland, a bronze medalist at the Paralympic Winter Games in Sochi back in 2014. The only member of this team that you competed against, Sonia, in Sochi, Russia. And that's when Great Britain finished in 3rd spot. And this Great Britain team have lost 2 of their last 3. However, they're very much in the hunt as we see the top 4 make the semifinals. Look at Canada, Latvia, Slovakia, all with identical records at 4-3, and then Great Britain right there as well at 3-3.
Yeah, Great Britain's always been there as one of the top teams and curled many times against Gregor Ewan, and it's going to be great to see how this team does after some rebuilding opportunity.
So look at the Canadians, 4 wins to open up the tournament in Beijing, but 3 straight losses. Can they bounce back?
Good luck.
First of 2 games on day 5 for Canada. Here's a look at what Great Britain has been up to, winning 2 of its first 3 games, but has slipped back. Losses to Slovakia and Sweden, but Great Britain has played 1 fewer game than Canada as well. The pebbled ice at the Ice Cube. We're told the ice has been quite consistent, supposed to be 21 degrees Celsius in Beijing. A hot day.
A hot day, but apparently controlling the temperature in the Ice Cube really well. And
Canada has won the hammer for the 6th time in its 8 games. Draw 13 is underway. Megan Dawson-Farrell, just 29 years old, one of the youngest wheelchair curlers in Beijing.
starting off the end with a high guard.
And there is the Canadian skip, Mark Idison. He's been over 70% in all games played so far.
Mark throwing one open to the wing, encouraging Great Britain to go after this one. If it sticks around here, just gonna creep out.
Go on, squad goals.
It's a Scottish team for Great Britain. All 5 players and the coach from Scotland.
The home of curling.
Know a thing or two about throwing a curling rock.
They sure do. Here's a beautiful draw around the outside. Tucking right underneath that guard. Just peeking out a little bit for Team Canada. Let's see if they'll go after that.
A little more, I think, A little more, Sorry? A little more. More, I think.
38 minutes on the clock for each country.
That worked out really well for Mark. Just coming around the top guard with a 12.5 perhaps. Move that Yellowstone out to the open.
This is David Melrose, the 56-year-old second for Great Britain. Part of the silver medal winning team at the World Championships a couple of years ago in 2019. A former semi-professional soccer player prior to his accident, and only began wheelchair curling in 2017.
Good way. Good, Dave. Good, Melly.
Veteran Canadian squad, Dennis Thiessen certainly brings a lot of experience at the second position. Gold medal at Sochi 8 years ago, a bronze in Pyeongchang 4 years ago. And after 3 straight losses, the Canadians will be put to the test on a big day today. Sonia, what do you think was said after that heartbreaking loss to Slovakia?
Well, I think they had an opportunity to regroup, take a look at some of the game tapes, decide where perhaps they can approach with some different tactics, some different shot selections at specific times, and capitalize on opportunities as they arise. And Wendy, the team leader, is always really good at keeping the team's spirits up, motivating them, inspiring them with lots of motivational mantras and mottos, and just keeping their spirits up.
Melrose is hoping for a better outcome there.
Looking for a draw to the opposite wing. split the house. Keep it open for those last stones of John's if need be. This one's gonna go a little bit behind the tee line. That works out really well for Team Canada.
So into third stones. Hugh Niblo calling the game for Great Britain, but throwing third rocks.
Hugh's good. Follow me, Shuggy.
40 years old, second Paralympic Winter Games. He's picked up a couple of medals at the World Championships, a silver and a bronze, and a hit and roll undercover for Niblo.
Yeah, and an interesting story about Hugh, how he found the sport of wheelchair curling after a diagnosis of muscular sclerosis, feeling a little bit down and out, found himself isolating and looking for something that would get his spirits back up and motivated. Found the sport of wheelchair curling, and one thing led to another, and he's right now curling on a Paralympic team. And what a great story that the power of sport has to help people overcome challenges in our lives.
There's Ina Forrest of the Canadian team. Fourth Paralympic Winter Games, the flag bearer. One of the two flag bearers for Canada at the opening ceremony.
Sent Ina a message just before the game and asked her how she was feeling, and she said, well, we've been here before, and one rock at a time. Play each rock as well as we can, and absolutely breaking it down one rock at a time is all you have control of. How you throw that rock, how you get the best value out of every rock that you throw.
Pretty straight here. Okay.
Big game for both of these countries. Canada 3 games remaining in the round robin, including this one. Great Britain 4.
Great shot by Ina, showcasing one rock at a time, throwing it as best as possible. Ina's such a solid and consistent athlete. Great supportive teammate.
Good.
And here is Gregor Ewan, the bronze medalist from 2014, throwing fourth stones for Great Britain.
Good time. Good, Gregor.
Ewan was also part of the team that finished 7th in Pyeongchang. And he said that after that 7th place finish, he went home and said, what could I have done more? And the answer was yes. He said, it's too late. I'm not doing that again. And he spent 4 years building up to this moment in Beijing. And a remarkable story that he was actually dropped from the British national wheelchair curling team. He was experiencing back pain, had some health issues.
Oh, come
And he
on.
was able to turn his life around and lost over 120 pounds and was picked up for the 2021 World Championships and is back again. John Thurston, though, as we saw for the Canadians, just put one through the house.
Yeah. Knew that as soon as he let it go.
5, 6, and not. Yeah. Okay.
It's quite an incredible story that you just shared about Gregor Ewan.
You remember him from 8 years ago.
I absolutely do, but I had to do a double take when I saw him because of the weight that you just talked about him losing. And it's great to see him back out on the ice. Always a gracious competitor to curl against. Really enjoyed getting to know Gregor over the years.
Said he took a hard look at himself. One of the first things he could do was improve his health. And he says he feels like a lot stronger of a curler now because he's not relying as much on leaning over. Now it's more core strength.
Yeah.
And using his muscles more effectively.
Yeah, it's definitely throwing with a much more upright delivery style.
Okay.
Okay, Canada facing 2 in the house.
Good night.
John, maybe you're going to take an extra second here after that last shot.
Good, Joe.
Thurston hits but rolls out. And it is Great Britain on the board first with a steal of 1. Canadians keep the hammer, but a good start for Team GB. 1-0 after 1.
Well, we noticed earlier on the crowd, and now we hear them. There is a bigger crowd in the stands as the competition heats up.
So into end number 2. Canada trying to snap out of a 3-game losing streak. Last shot from Thurston was a hit and roll out. And Sonia, is there any surprise at the up-weight shots that Canada continues to throw? As it's now been a few times where they have loved to have hit and stuck around, but because of the weight they've chosen, it's been hit and rolling out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely been the conversation between you and I, hasn't it been? And just wondering why we're not throwing a little bit less weight, so at least we can get some movement and also stick around a lot more than we have been. So perhaps we'll see if that's something that'll change
Yeah, I like that.
further on into the game. We are only in the second end.
But a very important game.
A very important game.
Just having a look at the standings, if Canada does win its remaining 3 games, and I know they'll like to take it 1 game at a time, but we're going to look ahead for our purposes. If Canada does win all 3 games, they would have a record of 7-3, which should be good enough and safe for a spot in the semifinal. That's just speculative. But if they win 2 of their 3, I would put them at 6-4, and that would be the danger zone. Likely a tie-breaking scenario would be necessary. Latvia is in the mix. Canada has beaten Latvia in the tournament, but Latvia right now has a better last stone draw compared to the Canadians. So if there is a multi-country tie and they go to the last stone draws, right now, with a few games to go, Latvia is ahead of Canada.
Yeah, those last stone draws really come into play. Gotta make those count, not only for getting the hammer at the beginning of the game, but for those tiebreakers if need be.
Sheila Swan, the 43-year-old, 3-time Scottish champion and a world champion from 2002, coaching Team Great Britain.
Lots of memories with Sheila over the years. She's been with the team for a long time and been on a lot of our trips overseas when we went and competed against Scotland. She's a fabulous individual.
There is Nick Lismore, who has most certainly been a very busy man, particularly over the last 3 draws where Canadians have come up on the wrong end of the score. Paralympic debut for Mick, originally from London, Ontario. Canadian champion at the university level and at the mixed 4s curling level as well.
Come on, Dave. Conditions are good.
This end setting up well for Team Canada. Looking to score 2 on this end. Dennis Thiessen lives in Sanford, Manitoba, and he's been in a chair for a long time, 17 years old when he had a farm accident, losing his leg above the knee, and found the sport of curling many years ago, and is a key player on Team Canada. Great teammate, been on Dennis's team for I don't know how many years, many years. Really enjoy playing with Dennis.
Control. Good delivery, Melly. Come on. Come on. Good, Melly.
Just gets enough. The shot from David Melrose. For the Canadians who started this tournament so strong, they almost seemed unbeatable. Sonia, 4 wins in a row. We were saying quiet confidence, this team, the communication was there. And then all of a sudden, a close loss against Sweden, 6-3. Things didn't go well early on in the 9-4 loss against South Korea, and then that back and forth affair, the 9-8 loss to Slovakia, where they had a chance to tie and force an extra end. What do you think is going through their minds right now?
You know, it just seemed like there was just a shutdown of communication there suddenly. There wasn't the upbeat feedback and sharing of information that's so critical when you start falling behind. It's definitely there when the team is up and playing well, but it needs to be there when there's some challenges and struggles. It just seemed like that wasn't happening anymore. Some difference of opinions on shot calls, key shot calls. Get a break here with that miss from Great Britain. Time to get something in behind that high corner guard. Notice when Ina throws her draws, she doesn't use that balance post. She hangs onto the front of her chair.
Left-handed shot as well.
Left-handed. And doesn't need to engage her arm as she does when she's throwing the hits. It's a great draw. Get in behind, tucked underneath a little more.
Where do you throw it?
Try to throw 9.75. I'm just trying to throw consistently.
Be bang.
Three stones each to go in the second end. Final one from Hugh Niblo.
Really interesting, I'm noticing when the Great Britain team anchors, just after the delivery is released, the person in behind is pushing the chair forward. Yeah. I've never seen that before. I saw them doing it on the lead shots, and now I'm noticing that's happening with all of them.
Canadians, as of now, in control of the second end.
Throw, Ina.
Undercover.
We're tucked in behind undercover now. I'm going to pay a little more attention to that anchoring style. And maybe that pushing forward of the shooter helps with the follow-through process.
Good.
Ewan has been curling for Great Britain since 2011, when he made his debut at the World Championships that year. Experienced player, Paralympic bronze medalist.
Okay, Gregor.
Shot. Shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couple of keystones for John Thurston here as well. An opportunity to get Canada on the board. Very key that stays around.
Took the words right out of my mouth. You need this one to hit the nose and stick around. And it didn't do that. I heard John thinking that he was a little down in weight. So when you're down in weight and you have tight ice like that, it's gonna move. It's actually great weight if he would have had a little more
If
ice.
you think you've got it, take it. What looks easier? Go there then. 5-6.
5-6. On the pink, Gregor.
Final stone for Ewan.
Good line. One rotation, Gregor.
Think about trying to pick the Canadian stone out that is undercover.
Good spot, Gregor.
This is in a good spot.
Yeah, he's
Shot
got
rock.
Shot rock in behind cover. John's got a
That's my drive of the button.
John drawing for one here.
Final stone in the second end. Facing one, Canadians trying to get on the board. And this is going to slip too far. A second steal for Great Britain. And they take another.
Well, I was a glider. Should have been thinking left.
So the Canadians left asking some questions. Down by 2 after 2.
Yeah.
So off to the third end with Team Great Britain up by a couple and scoring via the steal. Certainly not an ideal start in this very important game for the Canadians. And it's been a couple of misses. And Sonia, you've pointed out a couple of strategy decisions.
Oh, just some thoughts after that last stone. Of course, you know, it's hindsight too, but was actually thinking that the call might have been just following Gregor's draw down to that back stone. A little bit of backing there. Would have been nice for John to have that confidence, something to draw into. So just some thoughts and conversations after that last end. Feeling like John could use a couple of shots to build his confidence and get back to where he was at the beginning of the competition. Set him up for success.
Thurston's best game in the competition, curled 85% in that big win over Switzerland. He was 83% on his draws in that game. Right now, the Canadians chasing the Brits.
Heavier, I think, Megan, is it?
Yeah.
What end of the world, Megan? Come on. What was Mark's first?
14-2.
Okay.
Getting another one in the rings here. Behind cover.
Good job, Mark.
It's great weight control by Mark. Peeking out a little bit.
Go on, Melly.
Great Britain has beaten Canada just once in the Paralympic wheelchair curling competition going back to 2006. And that was 4 years ago in Pyeongchang. It was a convincing 8-1 win 4 years ago. Britain, though, finished 5-6 in South Korea, didn't make the semifinals. Canada won the bronze. But as you mentioned, a strong team. Won the bronze medal in 2014, won the silver medal in 2006, lost to the Canadians, your team, in Torino, Italy. A 7-4 score that year back in 2006.
Yeah, that is a memory that I will always remember. On the last stone, Great Britain skip not being successful on his open hit, and it was actually a really tough win to swallow, winning on a missed shot. My first experience at a Paralympic Games, and it kind of just didn't sit right with me.
Certainly have to feel for the opposition in that scenario.
Absolutely, my heart went out to Frank, who was throwing that shot.
Frank Duffy, the skip that year.
Frank Duffy, yeah.
9-4-4. Look at Millie.
So Canadians again catch a bit of a break.
Yeah, got wide on that hit. You're up weight like that, and you get a little wide on the broom, it's really tough for it to come back. Certainly an opportunity for Team Canada.
13.5, like it.
Get in behind that guard for a second shot. Team Canada's really perfected that GTX head, using it to its full advantage, getting lots of rotation out of the stone. And there's a great draw by Dennis. Fabulous.
Full 12 under cover, and again the Canadians threatening.
Russian.
Yeah.
Happy with our ice.
Yeah.
Other way. Good shot. Good shot. 9-5.
So the Paralympics is the highest level of competition for world-class athletes with a physical disability. And the word para actually means parallel.
I know you threw this in the practice, didn't you?
Means parallel to the Olympics, or alongside, equal to. Often people think the prefix para means paralyzed. So the two games exist side by side.
Canadians choosing a new path here into the 8-foot ring.
Yep, go to the open side. Encourage Great Britain to hit that open rock.
Shoes good.
As you can see the anchor there, pushing the chair forward just after delivery. I think the only person they don't do that to is Gregor, because he angles his chair when he delivers.
Shot, shot.
Dennis has finished up a bit here, huh?
Ina throwing a 9. Looking for a nose hit, so we stick around. Got a lot of movement out of that stone that I don't believe they expected.
Try it, aye. There, we're happy with that shot. Hey, Japan.
Yeah.
Two.
Niblo holding the broom for Gregor Ewan.
Gregor is going to draw down to that Canada stone under cover.
Same strategy as the last end.
Yeah, we've seen this path. He knows the path.
This one, though, a little bit off the mark and rubbing on the red guard.
Yeah, just down in weight, so really started curling.
So Canadians get the break right back. First of two from John Thurston.
John going to the open side.
Wait, John.
He's got great weight there, T-line weight.
That's got to be a relief for Thurston.
Yeah, definitely.
Find that weight.
execute some of those shots and regain that confidence.
Last rock for Ewan.
Good.
Vincent sticks around, but chance for the Canadians to score their deuce.
9.
Looking for a nose hit,
And you got to stick around.
and we got to stick around. That seems to be the theme.
So here it is. Scoring opportunity for Canada, down by 2. Last rock, third end. And rolls out. More frustration for the Canadians. They do score 1. But Hammer goes back to Great Britain. They lead after the third.
Gives a what's in Sheila.
Aye, so just say keep going.
I think just 4 or 5 and bring them in.
Aye,
Till
we'll,
that.
we'll,
Pressurise them.
aye. If the better shot, you normally got the wins.
So we've got
So into the fourth end. Canada leading in terms of the curling percentages in the game, 72% to 61. But a couple of steals from Great Britain and a couple of misses from Canada. Having a 2-1 score, so Team GB with the hammer for the first time.
Time to put up that center line guard. Hope this one looks like it's going to creep in.
Once one goes. Straight to that rush.
Some enthusiasm there from Great Britain. They're sensing some opportunity here. This does have shades of the game against South Korea, where the Canadians were setting up some great ends, but in that case it was the
Korean
South Korea.
skip.
That's right, the skip throwing fourth stones anyway. Jung just put a couple of great shots in there and a couple of missed Canadian opportunities. That's been the story so far in draw 13. Is it lucky 13 or unlucky 13 for you, Sonia? Or not superstitious?
Not so superstitious.
Not so superstitious,
No.
okay.
Try not to be anyway.
I mean, it is 13 for both countries, right?
That's true.
Spoon 9.
Yeah. Shot, Mark.
Yeah.
On day 5, Canada, as we mentioned, playing 2 games. The other against Estonia. Estonia not in contention to make the top 4. Paralympic debut for the country, but just 2 wins in 7 games. So certainly a game that Canada will have to take care of its own business in. But first things first, they'll need to play some comeback against the team from Scotland.
Great curling by Megan Dawson-Farrell. She's got a beautiful delivery style, and using that balance post to her advantage, keep her upright in her chair and following through forward with a really square delivery, shoulders square, nice follow through. A balance post has really made the delivery a lot more effective for so many different athletes, depending on their muscle control, ability, core stability. You see so many of the athletes having it on their chairs, which wasn't the case a few years ago. Not quite getting around the outside of that one. It's a little down in weight.
Yeah, 13 and a half? Yeah, 13 and a half, half under. Yeah, I like it, Dennis. 13 and a quarter works. Probably better. Fresh path here.
13 T-line shot on most sheets.
Yeah, 13 seconds is the timing of the rock between the hog lines. It's how the curlers communicate the weight of the stone and where you'd like it to end up. Dennis has really been nailing his draw weight thus far. A little bit of frustration on Dennis's face there, thinking needed another half a second there. But he got to the rings. There's that pushing forward of the thrower's chair by the anchor.
964.
964, not coming back at that weight. Whether he was wide on the broom, could have been.
Canada without Hammer, another chance to put some pressure on. Strong start for Ina Forrest, 83%. Top curling percentage in the game, shared with her teammate and one of her best friends, Dennis Thiessen.
to the button here. 12-6, I hear John
Just
saying. And a great shot.
Goodbye. Canadians lying 3.
12-6. I think Ina just kind of said that too. 12-6 question mark. Didn't go as far as one would think at that weight.
Is it that?
Yeah.
First of 2 from Hugh Niblo. He actually watched the wheelchair curling competition at the 2014 Paralympic Winter Games in Sochi in the stands, part of the Paralympic Inspiration Program. Member of the Great Britain team that finished 7th place 4 years later. But he remembers that great moment of winning a medal. 2014, he was there for it. And would love to have his own opportunity. Pushing another Canadian red into the house, and it is still Canada lying 3.
That's certainly a great program that he was a part of. Then coming to a games prior to competing at your own games, getting that aspiration and experience of a Paralympic Games.
13 and a half.
Yeah.
Fresh path.
Fresh path.
I like it. Top of the house.
That's exactly what Paralympism is, aspiring to achieve one's true potential through the power of sport, regardless of life's challenges. The heart of the Paralympic movement has 4 core values: determination, equality, inspiration, and courage. That works.
Get it, but they're late for you.
A little added protection for those 2 red stones in behind that guard she just threw.
I'll meet you halfway.
The Scots will take some time to talk about this.
Or you spring it to what you down well, free to get rid of, you know what I mean? You want to go for the one and happy there?
Let's go then.
Go for that. 975.
975.
Bit of a discussion there.
975.
975.
Choosing the hit. 975 weight. Hit and roll under cover. Be ideal here.
Need to be precise with this through the port.
Feeling like he's a little bit wide on the broom. Motioning with his hand out. Not going to come back.
So lots more Canadian pressure.
Big break for Canada here.
Couple of misses from Great Britain in this end.
13 and a half, 14.
Big opportunity.
Looking for a 14-second guard, top 12. Add some more protection, get another point in the rings. This one's really curling. Certainly had the weight. Make things a little more difficult. Great Britain still has path.
Tough situation here for Gregor Ewan.
Pressure shot for Gregor.
5 seconds.
5.
Notice Gregor's delivery style as he angles the chair much more than a lot of the other throwers. Mike McCready, who played on the Great Britain team many years ago, started that style. Very effective.
Speaking of effective.
What a great draw.
Great Britain needed something. He needed a shot. And Ewan came through.
He certainly did. Not a lot of room as it rolled by that top guard. Wow.
Looks like the Canadians hoping to move some granite here and try and...
There's a lot of red granite they need to move there.
Try and get that yellow moving.
Here's where you want that 8-second throw.
So, last stone from John Thurston. And after that great shot from Ewan. Granite moving, and he's got it.
Wow.
Big shot from Thurston.
A great shot.
Canada in for shot stone.
That's got to feel good for John. Sometimes it just takes a shot like that to turn things around. Great ice reading by Mark, knowing where to put the broom.
Yeah, but get your draw weight.
So what does Gregor Ewan have here? Taking another
Looking
path.
for a hit. Oh no, he's drawing down in, right on top of that.
There certainly is a path there, but it slips just a little bit deep. Great shot from John Thurston. Steal of one for Canada. And we are all tied up. 2 apiece at the 4th end break. So a nail-biting first 4 ends, Sonia. We'll hear both teams in their timeout here shortly, but quick takeaways from you.
Well, I think, you know, a couple of those key shots that John executed there are really going to help not only boost his confidence, but get the team back where they need to be, communicating a little bit more and just feeling all around better with their play and their shot selection. Often all it takes is a shot or two to turn things around. Great Britain is certainly giving them a good game, though.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna roll you.
Well, that's just it. Like, yeah, no, yeah, no, that's no. But yeah, we have. Yeah, we did. It was
Wider.
Singles on the board between Canada and Great Britain. 2-2 the score at the fourth end break. Wheelchair curling 8 ends long. So we're halfway through, Sonia, and it's been a tight game. Canadians talking things over.
They're going to start the full break right now because they never had a chance.
Linda Curtin there, our head official. Been at many championships and Paralympics with Linda Curtin. She's a fabulous person.
So either, I think probably the best thing is maybe just to tighten ice a little bit on yours rather than trying to find it out with rotation. So just be mindful of that. Like just
Wonder if we'll see a different approach after the team meeting in the fourth end break, or if they're just going to carry on the way they have been.
So I'm just asking where the peak is, because I think at the button it's curling. Like the edge of the button it's curling, so. so it's like flat.
There is a delay at the fourth end break as there is a medical situation involving Great Britain's David Melrose. It's coming from our CBC Sports curling correspondent Devin Haru at the Ice Cube. So certainly a great deal of concern for everybody. So we are in a delay. Certainly hope it is nothing too serious.
Yeah.
I was going to say they'll have seen that on TV. Yeah, I'll go and do that just now. Okay?
Very limited information at the moment, but as soon as we do receive any update, we will be sure to pass that along. The alternate for Great Britain is Gary Smith. An update there from one of the British coaches. It appears that David Melrose fell out of his wheelchair and hurt his shoulder. That's also what our Devin Haru has stated as well. Good to hear, though, that the British coach saying he didn't hit his head. Of course, that's the first point of concern. But David was seriously injured as a firefighter back in 2010. When he was paralyzed from the waist down. So great deal of concern for everyone, and of course the game is still in a delay.
Good job, guys. Good job. Okay. Time's good.
Check, make sure. It's probably put a crack in the edge.
Back corner, so it shouldn't affect play.
Yeah. You big bully. Pushing us all around.
They have brought a stretcher out.
Is that take your
Canada now needs a medical
Linda, take your
timeout.
bottle with you.
That's mine.
It's never good when you fall out of your chair.
No.
The first instinct is to, if you've got enough time, to put your arms out. That's when you can wreck a shoulder or break a wrist. And when you're pushing a wheelchair around every day, you need your arms and your shoulders.
So getting more information about the incident is that he did indeed fall over in his chair. The wheel caught the side foam and he tipped over. Stretcher has been brought out and David Melrose has been taken off the playing surface for further medical attention. So after a medical delay, the two teams are back on the pebbled ice and getting set for the back half of this game, but certainly a great deal of concern for David Melrose, who appeared to have hurt his shoulder after tipping over in his wheelchair on that side foam. You can see it on the right side of your screen. Stretcher was brought out, very serious situation. He is being looked after by the medical personnel at the Ice Cube in Beijing, but certainly a long delay and a very tense situation here, Sonia.
Yeah, it is. You never want to see somebody hurt themselves, and it's so easy to get a caster or something caught in those side foam bumper pads. And before you know it, you're tipped over.
So the 53-year-old from Edinburgh, Gary Smith, was a late call-up to the Great Britain wheelchair curling team. Original selection, Charlotte McKenna had to withdraw due to an injury. So in a very key game for his country, Gary Smith is in at second.
Wait, Mark.
And how do you regroup? How do both countries regroup after such a long delay.
Tap into some of those mental strategies. Refocus, revisualize, get centered, some breath work, and just focus on one rock at a time. Trying to set some of that distraction aside just for the time being.
Yeah, should hold line nice and just finish up at the end.
In terms of the curling percentages in this game, Canada ahead comfortably. 76% success rate compared to just 55% for Great Britain. But here we are, locked in a 2-2 battle. Winner takes a key step towards the semifinal.
Mark and Megan both leads for the team, 100% on their takeouts. Battle of the leads. Megan having a really good game.
Good. Good, Megan.
Another great hit by Megan.
Now turn. Or you like the end? Yeah. Okay.
Megan is a
Nine.
para-athletics athlete.
9? 9, yeah.
Competed in the 2014 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow.
Also competed in a wheelchair marathon in Dubai.
Wow.
She said during the race, why am I putting myself through this? But she really wanted to be the first woman to complete it, so. Big congratulations to Megan Dawson-Farrell.
Good for her.
4, 5.
Says that she prefers playing on a team sport as opposed to being an individual sport athlete.
Speaking of the team sport, coming in off the bench as the alternate, Gary Smith. Says he's out here to compete for Charlotte McKenna, who was originally selected to the team. Said he knew how much he wanted the opportunity, how hard she trained. He's excited for his Paralympic debut, but he wants to compete for her.
Yeah, I like it.
Dennis Thiessen curling one of his better games in Beijing at 81% at the second position for Canada. No team has scored more than 1 point in each end so far, and both of the countries struggling here in the fifth.
Struggling to get things in the house and keep things hanging around.
Good.
for something in the wing here. Got some weight to it as well, though. Not so sure that that one's going to hang around either.
Perhaps the ice changed a little bit with that long break.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it makes you wonder if perhaps the ice is sped up. But we're still hearing Team Canada call for 13 1/4 for T-line weight, or in front of the T-line. We'll see what this one ends up timing at. That's the time between hog lines. It's how the wheelchair curlers identify the weight that they're wanting to throw, is by the speed of the stone traveling between hog lines.
14 1/2. Good spot.
A little difference in timing. Dennis has got 13.8 and Mark has 14.5. Average that out to just over 14. And T-line is probably closer to 12 1/2 right now then.
Here's a look at Hugh Niblo and his work so far. Has attempted 8 straight takeout shots.
Found some good draw weight there, not quite under cover. Canada looking for a hit and a roll. Roll under their guard there that Ina just put up. We're gonna see Ina in her hit position. Gets her stick right up under her arm there and hangs onto her balance post as she throws bigger weight. Ina's curling a high percentage game, 81% on both her takeouts and draws. Having a really good game. Consistent. Really inside the broom on this one. It's gonna get on that top guard.
And over top of that Canadian red.
13 1/4. 13.
13, I think, yeah.
Opportunity for Canada to again put some pressure on.
Absolutely. Looking for a 13-second draw. Top 4 in behind cover.
Canada 4-3 record. Great Britain 3-3.
John ending off the last end with some great shots. This one might be a little, get by that guard. Nice. Great draw by John. Nice
Couple
to
of
see.
centimeters, that's it.
Yeah, really close there. Nice to see John back in the groove.
Left point of 9.
Yeah.
There's Gregor Ewan, the vice skip, throwing last rocks.
Okay.
Just under 70% so far in this game. Upweight shot.
Good to run that top guard back. And he does just that.
He's been good on key shots today.
He has been 92% on his takeouts.
But he didn't get that second red, so it does leave John Thurston with an opportunity here to apply more pressure and perhaps set up another Canadian steal, at least make things tricky.
Okay. Sorry, Marco.
Comes up short, and now
Right, thanks.
Gregor looking to get his one.
Good.
1-1-1. Lots of ones.
Continue the streak. So the final rock in the fifth end. Gregor Ewan.
He found the weight.
I'm not looking.
Biting the button, and it is enough for one more. And it is a Great Britain lead. Close game after the fifth. With a 3-2 score, Canada, the hammer, in the sixth end.
Hammer in the 6 and hammer in the 8.
That's the situation for the Canadians. 3 ends to go.
4-5.
Canadians doing their job, holding Great Britain to another one.
Straight to that brush. You got this.
Good.
So it sets up nicely for a good Canadian opportunity. However,
There you go.
they do need to execute.
Absolutely.
Come here.
Edge of button, I think, huh? The other edge.
Mark throwing one into the wing.
Got it, I've got it.
Looking for corner guard. There we go.
Oh, good spot.
Really curled out wide.
Second stone from Megan Dawson-Farrell, multi-sport, multi-talented athlete.
It's going to slide to the back, just like her last, almost the same weight. Mark choosing to hit these two. Looking for a double there at the back of the house.
It's good, Mark. Oh, sit.
That worked out well for Mark.
It's a tense game. Gregor Ewan is doing his best to try and relax his team.
Good.
Keep everyone's spirits up and awake and engaged in the game.
Good night.
Both these teams fighting for a spot in the semifinal, very much in the middle of the pack.
Down.
Devin. Fine, got it, gone.
Down, Gregor.
Right.
Whoever wins this game would have a huge advantage going forward in terms of the head-to-head tiebreaker, something to consider as well.
Like 13, 1275. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see
1275.
how it all plays out. How many tiebreakers they need to look at. That's why it's so important to get those last stone draws. The least amount of distance accumulated after every game of the last stone draws. Just over curled a little bit farther than I'd hoped. Great Britain gonna take a run at that Canadian stone. Choosing to hit anything that's yellow right now in the rings. Or sorry, anything that's red.
Good.
You mentioned that last stone draw, and as we sit right now with a couple of games to go in the round robin, Canada third. Best last stone draw, the United States, who have struggled with a 2-4 record after their first 6 games.
Really nice, Jumbo.
So they're likely not in the picture. Latvia is second, and they certainly are. Then comes Canada. Norway and Great Britain, 2 other teams that are fighting with Canada for spots 10th and 11th. respectively. So
Interesting.
Canadians do have a bit of an advantage right now. Of course, there are more last stone draws to come. Latvia would be the concern, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Canada did beat the Latvians, though, rather handily. That was a 10-3 to score. 10-3 score back in draw number 4. When the cruise control button was on for the Canadians and they were firing on all cylinders. Different story now. Down by 1 in the 6th.
Not hanging around.
That's a really good throw.
Into third stones. That's Niblo and Ina Forrest.
I said your button.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple inches more.
No, it should be fine.
That's edge your button then.
To get in front of the red.
4-5.
4-5.
Four, 5. I think they're referring to zones. So the choice, number 1 priority is to draw to zone 4, and 5 is acceptable. How they break up their zones, not sure, but my best guess would be zone 4 is T-line to top 12, and zone 5 is T-line to back 12. Certainly a strategy that Team Canada used to use, throwing to zones and calling it that way, so the thrower had a sense of this is where I want to be, and acceptable is always good to know as a thrower, so that you don't end up where you really don't want to be. But over the years, those zones, depending on the team you play on, that one held on, become smaller and smaller, and it's no longer a zone T-line to top 12, but maybe an area.
Seemed to curl.
Yeah.
4-5.
4-5.
So Great Britain lying the 2 after the jam at the back.
There we see the anchor pushing that chair forward again just after the stone is delivered. Looking for a draw in front of the tee line, and as they indicated, if it slips behind, they're okay with that.
As much as I thought it would here, so I like this.
It's got a curl. Just didn't quite get to the nose of that stone. And Hugh gets to throw the same shot again. A little more specific this time, looking for zone 4. Hoping to stay in front of the tee line. In line with their backstone.
3.
And you heard him call 3, letting him know that that actually ended up in zone 3, which is out in front of the 12 foot in the guard zone.
On big end again, 2 keystones for John Thurston. Great Britain with some pressure on the Canadians.
Yeah, John's certainly had pressure on every shot in this game.
Not a lot of room for error right now.
No. It's great weight here. Nice to have that back stone just in case.
Partially
Great
undercover.
line.
Achieve 3/4 right, Sean.
Why that, John?
Okay, I'm just saying.
Even the peel.
Feel it.
There.
Conversation there around the draw or perhaps peeling the guard.
5 seconds.
Looks like skipper has decided draw down to that red stone with zone 5 weight. Just move it back.
Tie all this tight.
Last stone for Great Britain.
Tie all this tight.
So Great Britain obviously not using the timing of the rock so much as to communicate weight, but using the zones.
Rubbing on the guard and leaving Canada with an opportunity.
Yeah, an open draw.
1275.
Anything in the
Fairly
full
open
8.
draw.
Full 8. 1275. 13.
Yep.
I like 13.
Canada
Yeah, I
has
like it.
not led in this game yet.
Just another inch, maybe.
But this is another big rock.
Certainly a key draw here for Canada to get their 2. One's
Last stone in the
great
6th.
weight. Gotta hang on though.
Does it stay in the full 8?
It does.
It does.
Great shot by John.
Bites on the
12 and a
12-foot
half.
ring, but it is good enough for Canada to score its first deuce of draw 13. And the Canadians move in front 4-3, and it's off to the 7th in Beijing. Well, in a game that's been back and forth with singles on the board all the way through to the 6th end, John Thurston throwing last rocks for Canada, coming through with the deuce.
12.75 right now. That sounds good. Okay, Marco.
So Great Britain the hammer in the 7th. And this game still very much hanging in the balance, Sonia.
It is. It's a very tight game. So both teams have to stay on top of their game right till the bitter end. Just focusing on one rock at a time. It's been the philosophy from the start.
Shot, Marco.
And after a couple of early misses, how big was that deuce for John Thurston and his confidence?
Really big, I think. He's had a couple of other great shots that helped, and that one just, I'm sure, solidified his confidence for him just one more time. With just 4 shots left, he needed all the confidence building he could get. I don't think she liked that throw. Didn't look like a very happy facial expression. It's gonna slide through. She was super wide on the broom there. It's just not gonna come back at that weight.
Just a straight out.
Really her first missed takeout of the game. She's been a solid player. Throwing another one into the rings. Encouraging Great Britain to take a run at these. Looking for a hit and roll on that back redstone. She's feeling like she might be a little bit wide on that one as well. She got the top one. It's going after the back one though.
9? Yeah. Always going in and out, okay. From center.
I think you can take it off. Good 9.
Some conversation there around where exactly to set the stone. When at delivery, pulling it off of center just a little bit. It's important to communicate that from front end to the skip so he knows where you're setting that rock and can adjust the ice accordingly. Dennis was a little bit inside there.
Go on.
Okay.
975.
Go on, got it.
Way back. Good.
If you joined us late, Gary Smith came into the game at the 4th end break after there was a medical situation involving the starting second, David Melrose. He was removed from the game and removed from the playing surface. Certainly hope he's okay. Smith hoping for a double take out there.
Yeah, didn't quite make it, but moved that stone in behind.
13. Good to in.
Yeah. Weight looks good though.
A little tight on the broom.
A good weight, Dennis.
Seems to be the feedback, but great weight. I think Dennis knew that as soon as he let the rock go.
Nice up, 5.
Even though the Canadians have dominated the percentages today, Sonia, you just feel that 1 or 2 good shots, and that might just decide it for this one.
It seems to be coming down to those last rocks, doesn't it?
Good weight.
The Canadians catch a break as that flashes. Tough position for the alternate to join mid-game.
It is a tough spot to be in as an alternate.
13.
The alternate position is a tough position to be in regardless. You want to play and you don't know if you're going to get in. Your role is to be ready, game ready every game.
You like this ice?
To potentially
just a touch
slide in.
more? Yeah.
Some teams put their alternate in a specific position every time, and other teams move people around within the team, and the alternate can slide in at any position. So it's actually a really big role to play.
13-1. Shot on.
A lot of
Into
pressure.
the 8-foot ring again.
If I go that, I can maybe get then behind. Like if I catch the top red, if I'm high, I'll roll that way. Aye. That hand maybe.
Chance to remove some red here.
Yeah, going for nose.
9.
9.
Yeah. Time to move some red granite around. Open things up.
Trying to get that red biting on the 4-foot ring at the back.
Just came across the face of that red stone a little too much.
We've seen this a bunch, hein?
Yeah. 9.
9.
9.
Last rock for Ina Forrest. Not a lot of chatter from both teams, very tense.
I'm feeling the same thing back here.
Hit rolls to the 12-foot ring. Canada line 3 again.
Hangs on. Nice to see a few more red rocks hanging around.
I don't know, Greg, I don't know if we just make sure we take our back with our way. Try and get that and roll under.
That, then roll there.
Aye.
This hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same way.
Hugh opting for the hit and roll as opposed to removing that top stone. Gregor was thinking about removing that top stone, but they decided on the hit and roll. Get in behind cover.
Yeah.
Not liking that one. It's gonna sail by altogether. Very narrow on the broom.
Yeah, hoping for that hit and roll, but that is a massive break for Canada.
Just an inch more. Just an inch more. Inch more.
So hard to hear back and forth when China gets going.
13.
John's asking for just a little more ice, and I think
13 1/4.
Mark finally heard
Like
him.
this pass. Same as Ina.
For something in, looking for something in the 4-foot there. In line with shot stone. Team Canada gets some really good rotation on their stones from that GTX head. And went a little deeper than he had hoped.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still hoping for that hit and roll.
Yeah, still
Last
there.
Couple of opportunities.
Yeah. Oh, we're only 4 down.
Like that.
You may less, Shug. Not much less. Go through the brush.
GB using a much shorter stick than Team Canada does. Team Canada's sticks are almost 8 feet long, not quite. Ina's is a little bit shorter than that, but
9.
Great Britain, considerably shorter. Oh, he's not liking that either.
Much painful as well.
That looked very painful, didn't it?
Gregor Ewan
Oh, made contact.
hits and rolls out, but something looked off on that release.
Well, we were reading a little bit about his back pain.
Yes, I was just about to say there that he did have some issues a few years ago. And remember that Great Britain has already lost 1 player in the game today. Last rock from John Thurston. Curling at 69%, but he's found his draw weight, 88% on the draws.
And another great draw here, and right in the weight he was looking for.
Not a big scoring area for Great Britain.
No, that makes it difficult. They're struggling on that path to begin with.
Big shot here, facing 4. And we'll see if that was just an awkward release or if there is something more with Gregor Ewan.
This shot has got to be the exact weight
975.
and line to get through that port and stick around.
Looking more comfortable this time. Last stone in the 7th end.
Gonna get on that guard. It's needed a little bit less weight.
Steal of 2
And,
for
more
Canada.
ice.
Got it. It's okay.
So into the 8th end we go, and the Canadians jump a little further ahead, 6-3 over Great Britain.
Come on.
Big second half for the Canadians. A deuce in the 6th and then a steal of 2 in the 7th. Great Britain has the hammer for the 8th and final end. So the Canadians certainly not in the clear here, Sonia, but an encouraging second half.
Yeah, time to keep the pressure on, never let your guard down.
Very key game in terms of the standings. Canadians also hoping for a bit of help as Latvia, Slovakia, Norway, and even Great Britain all around them in the standings.
Excuse me, guys. Thank you.
Eight of the 11 countries have at least 3 wins, so lots of parity.
Yeah.
Beijing. South Korea hanging around at 3 and 4. They scored a big win over Canada on day 4.
Great Britain putting up a corner guard here. Something for them to hide behind and start generating some points, some offense. That guard's a little bit wide. Still covering part of the 12-foot.
Like it.
All 4 Canadian players in this game over 70%. Mark Idison leading the way at 90%. Strong game from the Canadian skip.
Team Canada's strategy when they're certain points ahead. Put the first one in and throw the second one through.
Yeah.
Trying to keep things clear.
Yeah, keep things open. Less rocks in play, the better.
Good mark.
Yeah. Good there, guys. Good wide.
Megan's got a nice draw here in behind cover. She's really had a solid game.
Best for Great Britain at 75%, well above the team average, which is 54% in the game.
Nice and smooth, Dennis.
Haven't heard a lot of conversation about the rocks this game. Seems they're all very happy with the rocks they're throwing and nothing's giving them too many issues.
That's a great point. Third time for Canada on sheet D. And the first time it really did present some problems. That was a win over Switzerland.
It did. Oh boy. Outside the broom on that throw. Certainly threw the right weight.
Even hit that and split off to the other side.
Need 3.
I know.
Hitting that will only get 2. I would still need something on there.
Put our guard up then, that way a bit. Guard that in, but just over that way a wee bit.
I would do that.
Time out, Great Britain.
Yeah. I wouldn't bother. Work it out.
Yeah.
Either that.
Yeah, there on.
Or that above.
Put the guard on.
Talking about a lot of different options.
While
Either
you
the
first touch can.
Don't mind 3, 4.
3, 4.
2 is okay.
Well, the skip, Hugh Niblo, reminding his team that we need 3 here. Trying to set up an end.
Yeah. So
Take the shine, boy. Take the shine.
calling a few zones here. This is an interesting call. I mean, calling zone 3, 4 is acceptable, and then he kind of threw in there, and 2's okay. So a little bit all over the place. Really looking for a guard here more than anything. And that's where he's thrown that into
Big shot
zone
from Gary.
3. It's a good shot.
Well, Dennis Thiessen is a takeout specialist.
He is, and he's got that rock right off center line in between the 18-inch line and the center line. But that rock really rumbled as he let it go. Hopefully didn't pull it offline. Looks pretty good. There we go. Peel that guard that Gary just put up.
Jumped at that one.
Yeah, my chair moves a little bit.
I was holding you, but.
No, I know.
Yeah.
You've got it.
Second shot for Gary Smith.
Team Canada had some discussion there about Dennis's chair moving and how important it is for the anchor to
Good.
hold the chair solid, but sometimes with no fault to anybody, a chair just moves. Can throw the thrower off a little bit.
Canadians aiming to snap a 3-game slide. Let's put their medal round participation in jeopardy. Big steal of 2 in the 7th has been the swing. 2-2 after the 4th end break. Great Britain jumped ahead with a single in the 5th. And it's been 4 straight points for the Canadians.
Nice line, Ina.
Really nice throw by Ina. Keep opening up that side. Opening up Great Britain's cover.
We need 3 to heal. But if we just go and take theirs out, they're just going to probably take it off.
I think that's a really great choice. Calling a timeout here. It's critical timing, critical choice. This shot
I
is.
just think if you're welding there, you know what I mean? Or you put in like here, or in behind that. You get the front in, so you know what I mean? It's able to down. If you want to go really hard for it.
You can go right round the yellow, like second and third. Try the freeze on the red, we're pinging that. If we do get behind that, they're pinging that, or we put another guard on. We're hoping for a miss anyway,
Yeah,
whatever
well,
happens.
I wondered about, do we hit the red, hope they miss, then come round?
Behind that.
Yeah.
Just keep hitting, and hope we get a miss at some point.
It's either that or we come round, but I think they're just going to go after that.
And that's how it's
Yeah,
We're looking for a miss either way, it just depends.
Yeah,
You can go with a short one if you think, but then we're needing everything to counteract that. I like hit first. I'm happy to be overruled.
No, just trying to work it out, that's it.
Yeah.
You said up there going round or just hitting that one.
Yeah, I think we hit. Hope for because even if they hit and roll out, it gives us a chance to use this corner again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something line, 9-5.
Thank you.
This, good there.
Sheila Swan, the head coach for Great Britain,
I'll probably be a 9-4.
2002 world champion.
9-2.
Okay.
And the Brits realizing that they're running out of rocks.
Yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth. They're running out of rocks. So maybe time to stop putting up those guards and get something in the house. They've chosen to do that by hitting the red stone first.
One of the games complete on the other sheets. And a big upset as Slovakia beats Sweden. So Slovakia moves in front of Canada with a 5-3 record.
Wow.
Sweden falls to 6-2, so that's a shocker.
That is a shocker. Really nice nose hit by Hugh.
Last rock for Ina Forrest, the vice skip for Canada.
Key shot for Ina. Ina thinks that there's something underneath the stone. Feeling a little bit sticky. Oh, yeah. So they're just asking the volunteer to clean the rock on the side rather than cleaning it there and then putting the rock right on top of where you've cleaned it.
Thank you.
Big shot. Great Britain needing 3 to extend this game.
Yeah, key shot here. To make that one go away, one way or another.
Hit and roll under cover.
Beautiful shot. Sheesh.
And the Canadians needed that.
Kind of asked for a better result there.
Yeah.
First time where we've heard them chat about the rocks.
Open it and lie 1 and 3.
Yeah, go for it then. You reckon
Or
I'll
edge
get
a
right?
straight run.
Edge your button. There.
No, I'm saying it's not all the straight run.
That's what I'm saying to you. You want to do a straight run or you want to draw it there? Or, come what I mean?
I will try the wee split on it.
So what do you want
Right,
ice
no,
there?
Near us, no. 6, 7.
6, 7.
Not looking like Gregor's
Yeah, he's not on board
understanding.
here.
No, like no, they're on 2 different pages here.
6, 7.
7.
Doesn't exactly inspire confidence.
No.
And you've got the person holding the broom shaking their head at the shot selection.
On the outside.
But if it works, Great Britain will stay in it.
Cut off. Cut off. That's fine, shot.
Still Canada,
Nice
line
cut.
1. And under cover.
Priority for Great Britain was to get more yellow in there, and they did do that.
Timeout Canada, Mick
How do you feel about
Lismore,
the ice out there?
the coach.
Just wondering how, like, the ice.
Well,
out
there's
there.
this or
drawing.
we
I think.
split the rings. Right?
Yeah.
So what are you feeling?
Either, I think. Draw weight feels pretty good. What was that test?
Split the ring or like it's pretty dangerous puck.
I can see a good 5/8 of it.
This one?
Yeah.
No? Yeah, I mean, I think we got to hit a yellow. I don't think the draw makes any much sense here.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Are you on board with that?
Sure.
It's just a matter of what one we think is easier to hit. Like, I know you can nick the guard in, but
This one, I just wouldn't like to make a shot for them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just
I
my only
don't
thought.
mind this one. Okay. Just make sure you take enough ice and like, I think, get the outside of it's pretty good here. Do you want to take the rock off?
So off the line.
What way? 8.5.
Okay.
8.5?
Too much, you just scooted across.
His interns couldn't straight out here, right? You should throw it.
I like. Yeah, I like can't see it all.
Couple of options here, Sonia, for the Canadians to try and close this out. Draw splitting the rings was discussed, but Coach Mick Lismore preferring to take out a yellow.
Yeah, I can see almost all of it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, take it off the line there.
Thurston, though, just
there?
31% today on his 4 takeout attempts.
8.5.
Yeah. Like it.
So throwing big weight at that outside yellow, and they're going to pull the rock off
can
of
be
the
positive
center
here,
line.
eh?
I think so. I think it's going to finish off the board.
You can see the rock
Just-
there just up against
nice
the
normal
18-inch
8.5.
line.
Just gonna come over a little bit.
get more of a direct line at the broom.
Key shot for John Thurston, trying to make it very tough for Great Britain.
It's a key shot there.
Outside
Looks
path.
like that guard is in play, but oh wow, great
He's
shot.
got it.
Great shot.
2 rocks left for the Brits.
I thought it was just hanging there for a goal.
Put the brush down.
Yeah.
Gotta get something under cover there.
4.
Zone 4, so looking for something just behind the tee line.
And this could be too deep, and it is out.
Done, is it? Yeah. We've got 1 stain left, so I think it's done, is it?
Yeah.
Done, Shug?
Yeah.
Cool. Good game, boys.
Handshakes and a big Canadian win, snapping out of the 3-game slide.
Good job, Dennis. Good game.
Some
A
happy,
hug and a sigh of relief.
happy smiles and cheers for Team Canada. Well-deserved win. Kept the pressure on the whole time, and I'm sure that feels a lot better for them now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the results.
A big
for this
push
session.
towards the
On sheet
medal
A,
rounds. Canada now a 5-3
Slovakia,
record.
On sheet B,
With the win
United
over Great
States
Britain,
of America, 8,
will be
Switzerland,
tough for the
5.
Brits
On
at 3 and
sheet
4
C,
to make a
Norway,
run.
4,
6-3, the final
Republic-
score.
People's Republic
Canada
of China,
wins
7.
over Great Britain.
On sheet D, Canada 6, Great Britain 3.
女士们、先生们，为您公布本轮比赛成绩。A 赛道，瑞典队5，斯洛伐克队6。B 赛道，
So a very
美国队
tense game,
8
Sonia,
瑞士
and
队
now the
5。C
Canadians
赛道
will look
挪威
towards
队4
Estonia
中国队7
for
D 赛道
the match in
加
draw
拿大
number
队
14.
6
It's coming up
英国
in
队3
just about 2.5 hours or so.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beijing
Another 2-game day, but this
Organizing
one is
Committee
certainly,
for the 2022
they only get
Olympic
bigger
and
from here, don't they?
Paralympic Winter Games
They
sincerely
do.
thanks all technical officials, staff,
Yep,
and
the
volunteers
leaderboard
for their
is
outstanding
taking
efforts.
shape, and
女士们、先生们，
every
北京
game
2022年冬奥会和
has
冬
a
残奥
lot
会
of meaning
组委员
to
会
it.
感谢所有技术
Never
官
let
员
your guard
工作人
down.
员和志愿者们的辛苦付出。
Let's give them a round of applause.
请和我们一起将掌声
So
送给他
Canada
们。
will rest, refocus, and will take aim at Estonia, who has a
That
2 and
concludes
5
this
record in
afternoon's competition.
Beijing,
Thanks for watching and
but
for
it's
your
a
active
very crowded
participation.
leaderboard.
Please follow the
Canada in
instructions
the
of our
mix,
staff on your way out.
but they
And
need
be sure
wins
to
and they
pick up
need
your
a bit of
trash and
help
belongings.
as well.
Thanks for your
For those watching
cooperation.
on CBCSports.ca and CBC Gem, first rocks at 6:35 a.m. Eastern Time
工作人员的指引，
on
有
this
序退场。
Wednesday morning.
当
We'll
您
see you
离开
then.
座位时，请不要忘记带走垃圾。感谢您的合作。
core values